Hello everyone and welcome to the end of day wrap here on day 2. Will you stop? It's only day 2 of 5. And Rich Hagon, Brian David-Marshall, the Pro Tour historian, here with you. Fantastic day 2, 6 more rounds have gone by. And BDM, we have a Final Four for the World Championship.
And it's a tremendous Final Four. We have a former Magic Online champion, we have a Player of the Year, we have one of the most exciting young players in the game, and we have a Hall of Famer elect in Ben Stark.
We better find out about those top 4 then. You can see behind me, let's take a look at the board. Heading the way there, Reed Duke, 9-3, Ben Stark, 9-3, Shahar Shenhar, 8-4, Josh Utter-Leyton, 8-4. So,
in what ended up being a clean cut.
Yeah, absolutely. So then you have 7-5, Watanabe and Wesko, breaking even 6-6. Congratulations, Dmitry Budakov of Russia. I think that's a really big marker for the future for the man from Siberia. Shuhei Nakamura, 6-6. Your 5-7s, the likes of Stanislav Sivka, Tom Martell, Willie Adel, 4-8, Froelich, 3-9, Li Shichan.
And has been mentioned, as has been mentioned on Twitter, congratulations to Martin Yuza on making the top 4 at next year's World Championship.
Yeah, which will obviously happen. That 210 mirrors what Reed Duke did last year. Missed out David Ochoa, by the way, at 6-6. Don't want to miss out there. Well done to him. But look, we have to give our thanks here at MagicTheGathering.com to all our 16. Sure, there's pro points on the line. Sure, there's tons of money on the line. But they've been fantastic these 2 days. They've played hard in every round. They have not conceded to friends. They have come to us whenever we've asked them. They've given you great deck techs, great interviews at the desk. Uncomplaining. And a big thank you to the 16 who've made these 2 days special. It doesn't get done without the players, must be said.
Yeah, absolutely. You understand why these players are not only so successful, but are also so popular as, you know, figures within the Magic community.
So the matchups, well, that's very straightforward. You're going to have Reed Duke up against Josh Utter-Leyton. Reed Duke playing...
He's playing a green-white hexproof deck, similar to some banned hexproof decks. We've seen no blue in the deck. 8 hexproof creatures, Core Spirit Dancer, 27 creature enchantments.
Keen Sense is in there.
Keen Sense has been terrific for him. He's going to be playing against Josh Utter-Leyton. There was a little bit of a, you know, his face fell.
Reed's face.
Reed's face fell when he saw this matchup against Josh. He beat Josh in the Swiss rounds, but felt like maybe he got a little lucky to do so.
Okay.
It was a big play where on turn 2 or 3 of game 2, he had a sideboarded Rest in Peace in his hand, and he got, I believe, Inquisition of Kozilek or Duress or something, and Josh agonized over it, thought about taking it, instead took an Aura, and 20 turns later, as the game dragged on, he had 0-1 Tarmogoyfs and, you know, completely ineffectual Scavenging Oozes.
So Rest in Peace was a really big deal.
Rest in Peace was a really big deal for him. Be interesting to see how that works out. Leyline of Sanctity was such a big sideboard card, by the way, for Stanislav Sivka in the Modern Pro Tour at the start of this last season.
For sure.
And it's there's a similar matchup here in the semifinals of the World Championships where that card could play a big role again.
That's worth remembering that those semifinals will be the best 3 out of 5, as will the final. So sideboards are going to really, really matter. What about our other semifinal? Well, that's Ben Stark against Shahar Shenhar, your 2011 Pro Tour champion Stark, against 3 Grand Prix titles in 6 Grand Prix top 8s at the age of 19.
Infuriatingly 19-year-old Shahar Shenhar.
Yeah, we can't be too rude because his family are all over there. He's a lovely boy. You've brought him up well. He is going to be playing in the blue, white, red mirror match. Bring the thermos. It's going to be a long one.
Interestingly, I think Ben Stark feels he is going to win this tournament.
Does he indeed?
I mean, obviously, all the players, you know, think, but he really he sees a very clear roadmap to winning this tournament, where he can beat Shahar. He feels like he's got a better control deck against Shahar. You know, the game is gonna go long, and he is just advantaged. He feels like he's gonna do that, and then he feels like his Hallowed Burials and his Paraclasms and all the tools he has at his disposal against Reed Duke, who he expects to face, that he's able to take that match as well.
Okay, well, that's the end of Sunday. But wait, it's only Thursday night. This is when we would normally do our preview show for a typical Pro Tour that begins on Friday morning. Tomorrow morning, we'll do it dead quick because we only got a couple of minutes.
Right.
But it's the World Magic Cup. How many nations, BDM?
71.
Okay, and they will play how many formats?
3.
That's correct. Over how many days?
2, and then a third.
Yeah. So it's all about teams. Essentially, it is a tournament with 71 names on the list. Everyone will play as a team right from the get-go. You're going to see team sealed play in M14. Then you're going to get unified standard. Imagine one giant deck of all the decks and sideboards piled on top of the other. That one deck has to be standard legal. 4 copies of any one card. It's a real puzzle. We'll get to that as we go along. What about day 2? What happens there?
Day 2, we're going to play. We're going to cut to seeded pod play, where teams will be seeded from top to bottom.
1 to 4.
1 to 4, 32 teams.
Right.
And then the best. At the end of 3 rounds of that, the 2 teams with the best record from each pod will advance to another round of seeded play.
And the first
and that'll be 16 teams.
First set was limited.
Right.
Return to Ravnica, 12. So 4 Gatecrash, 4 Dragon's Maze, 4 Return to Ravnica. And then we get back to Team Unified Standard. That sets us up for the best day in Magic history on Sunday. We will give you the quarterfinals of the World Magic Cup, the semi-finals, the final. You'll see a Team World Champion crowned in the World Magic Cup. And then these 4 will be back to... No, I'm not going to say duke it out.
We're going to see a semi-final, and a final.
Reed Duke, Ben Stark, Shahar Shenhar, Josh Utter-Layton, already atop 12 of the finest players on the planet. They're back on Sunday. We're back tomorrow with hours 20 to 30 of live Magic action. Don't you dare miss a thing. For Brian David-Marshall, the whole team here at Amsterdam, I'm your host, Rich Hagon, saying bye.